Hi guys. I would like to give you a backstory on my dad. How my life was with him and up to the point that I lost him. So I guess here we go. So when I was born, my birth mother basically abandoned me. And I spent the first 2 years of my life in an orphanage. Then I basically came my adopted mother and father came and visited me, and they decided I was the one they wanted. My dad wanted to bring all the kids home with him, but my mother was like, "We can't do that. We can't take care of all these kids. Pick one." And so they picked me. Um, we came home. He brought me home to from Russia to Canada. Then my dad was a little abusive towards me because he didn't really know how to take care of kids. So he did abuse me a little as a child, like throw me across the room, that kind of stuff. Spanking me, but it wasn't punishment spanking. It was to get his anger out. So it was like that for basically my childhood with him. He was unfaithful to my mother, so they broke up in, I believe, the summer of 2001 or 2000. Sorry, 2000. Um, and then my dad was with a few women over those time. Uh, they weren't the best women, I'll say that, but they were nice at times. So that went from until about 2006, 2007, I believe. He found my stepmother, and she has been an amazing woman. Jamie Fortin, I love her so much. She's actually still in my life, sort of. But we've sort of lost contact a little. We talk every now and again. But back to my dad. So I got to see my dad every weekend and every Wednesday for dinner. Weekends to go visit him, Wednesdays to go out for dinner. I broke my wrist in 2007, and my mother, I, my mother called my father to tell him that we weren't going out for dinner that night. My dad, I still laugh at this a little. Like, it was like, "Oh, so we're not going out for dinner tonight?" She's like, "No, your son broke his wrist and you're meeting us at the ER." I still beat myself up for that night because I ruined his dinner plans. But as we go forward in the years, my relationship got better with my father, and we went on lots of trips together. I always wanted to go see him, but when I moved away from the U.S. in 2000, from Canada in 2007 to live in the U.S. with where my mother wanted to go to, uh, it became twice a year, once in the summer and once in winter for Christmas. So summer break and Christmas break, I got to see my father. We still had a rocky relationship at the time, and then over the years, everything got a lot more smoother. Then we, then he, so there was that, and then once I graduated high school, we the time with my seeing my father went down to once a year, which took a toll on me. I'll say that. Then we basically we had a good relationship. We did, and then fast forward about 7 years. I basically my dad decided he wanted to leave Canada and move to the USA. So he did, and I was like to my dad, "When can I come see you?" Because it had become once a year, and I was wanting to see him so badly. And then he's saying like, "Oh well, once your mother decides yada yada yada, all the stuff going on between them, I'm not going to go into that." And then it took about, so I didn't see my father from 2017 until 2023, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. And then we had that long time without seeing each other. We still texted each other every now and again, every day basically. Then in 2023, I got to see him again when he finally found his place to live and all that. And that was actually the last time I saw him. I had a great time with him in Tucson, Arizona. It was great. Went to a lot of places, played tennis with him, got to go swimming in his pool, bring my dog in the pool, and we had he basically, the one story I remember from that trip was we were at this Air and Space Museum, and we just had. He hates me. He does not like gift shops. So he basically said to me and my stepmom, "Whatever you want, you're buying for yourself." And I'm like, "All right." I picked out this hat and a magnet, and he says, "You're buying that for your own money." I'm like, "Okay." And we got to the register. I'm pulling the money out of my wallet, and he's just like, "No," and puts it back in my wallet and pays for it himself. Which I'm like, "Huh?" I didn't know what to say at that time, but I felt grateful for that. Then, then came the time when I had to head back home from visiting him. Every time I would come home from seeing my father, I cried my eyes out because I loved him. Then, fast forward to these dates here. That's my dad's birth date, and that was his death date. On his death date, so I came home from work. I'd been texting my dad a little bit the week before, and he said he wasn't feeling good. I didn't take much to it. And then he basically comes, and then I believe that Thursday was the last time I texted him, and he goes and says, "Thank you for the birthday gift that I gave him. He loved it so much." I got him this cup. I forget what was on the cup. And then fast forward to that Sunday when I got to find out he was just gone. I came home from work. I texted my mother to bring my dog over, and she did. And she comes to my place, and she says to me, "Can I come in?" I said, "Sure, I guess." And then she tells me she needs me to sit down, so I do. And she said, "I really have bad news for you. I'm going to need you to pick your dog up and hold her." So I did. I held my dog. Then she proceeded to tell me that my dad passed away the night before to liver cancer. At that time, I didn't even know what to think. I couldn't actually speak at all. All the sound in the world basically disappeared. There was no sound at all. I saw my mother's lips moving, but there was no sound. Not one bit. The sound in the world disappeared for about a minute. Then it came back, and she basically says, "I'm so sorry," and walks out the door. And then later that night, I basically cried my eyes out over it. It was the first time my dog ever comforted me. Over the past 3 years since my dad died, I've had some dreams about him. I had this one dream where I was standing at bottom of these stairs. Like, I had already watched my father and grandmother die in that dream because they're both gone. And I thought I heard his voice at the top of these stairs in this dream. And so I'm like, "Dad, you're alive." "Yes." And I ran up those stairs as fast as I could in this dream. I burst through, but it wasn't him. What I got to learn later, that figure I saw in that dream, man I saw in that dream, was, if you guys want to believe me or not, you can or not, whatever you want, I don't care, but I believe it myself, that it was Archangel Gabriel in my dream trying to talk to me about my father. But I basically pushed him away and walked over to a chair crying. I've had multiple dreams, like visiting my father in dreams, like I usually did IRL, but yeah. Nobody's really ever treated me great for losing my father. I've never had anyone be very compassionate about it. Not even my mother is compassionate towards me for my father's death. So I have that going on in my life. But that's basically my story for Father's Day about my father. I want to hear your stories, guys. If you got any stories, I'd love to hear them. Put it down in the comments. Happy Father's Day.